welcome back, everybody,
Hey,
to the newest episode of I Don't Want to Wait. I'm Handren Seavey,
I'm Kim McVicar. I don't wanna wait.
and now you don't have to because we are here to tell you about the dance.
The dance. Ooh, there was not a lot of dancing, I gotta say.
Not a
Disappointed.
lot of dancing. Also, complete 180 from the previous dance episode when they all wanted to go to the dance
hmm
in the last one, or in the last season.
Yeah, now all of a sudden, this whole episode, I knew it was coming because I knew about the Dawson and Jack thing happening, and I'm still mad at him. Like,
At who? Dawson?
yeah, what the heck, man? Like, what did I say heck? Just like he cheated it's the same amount of cheating.
Look, much like this show, Dawson can pick and choose what from his past he wants to have be part of the current story or not. I think, as far as he's concerned, that kiss with Jen never happened.
Probably. And then
Yeah.
I just wish Joey knew about it because she didn't know. So she doesn't know enough to be like, hey, you did it too.
I don't think Joey has the backbone to even do that.
In this episode, I think she might.
I don't know. It was all right, let's go. It starts with them once again, Dawson's bedroom, and apparently now series regular Andy McPhee
Is just
dancing away.
dancing for them. And as someone who was a professional dancer, I don't think, and now I might
She's got
have
moves,
friends.
right?
Well, it's not even that. It's like I don't remember. And if I have any friends listening, tell me, childhood friends. I don't think I ever like stood up and danced for my friends while we were watching a movie or was like, check me at like I don't think I ever unless it was with just girls and like all of us were like making up a dance, but this is like 3rd grade. But by high school, you're not like alone dancing with a bunch of people looking at you.
Not unless you're like on Little St. John Island or something.
Or if you're on ecstasy or something like that. Like there's no way you're completely sober. Well, everyone's in bed watching you dance unless you're trying to be a stripper. But she wasn't doing stripper dance moves. She was doing
She was doing Footloose.
cheesy dance moves.
Yeah, and also I feel like she was just doing a bunch of the different dances in Footloose all at one time, acting like she was dancing along to the movie. But you're like, those are two different scenes. I don't know that. What do you, as a dancer, do you like that movie? Is that a
I have
classic
to
for
go back and
dancers?
watch it. I don't like dance movies. I'm one of the few people who hate dance movies.
Best dance movie in your opinion?
Um, Singing in the Rain would be the only one that was acceptable.
Okay. Um, so no, Save the Last Dance.
No.
Step up to the streets.
No, none of them. And I know a lot of
Oh,
people in them. And not to say that the dancing isn't good, but I storyline can't stand it. Like the LA movie one, what was that one? La La Land. I never watched it and I
oh
respect
yeah, that
the
one's my
timeline.
favorite because white people explain jazz to black people.
Oh, well, that's what most of them are, but I wouldn't watch it because of the line in the movie, like on the poster. So in the poster, it's Ryan Gosling, right? His arm line is broken too much that I was like, well, if they can't even get a single photo of him with the correct body line, he's going to be shitty as a dancer throughout this whole movie. So I'd
Yes.
refuse to watch it because it would just piss me. It would there's something about knowing too much about something that when you do see it, it takes you out and it just bothers me. I just watched The Dancers. Like I could watch any movie and in the background be like, oh, that person messed up.
Um, pardon me. What was the one I was going to bring up? Oh, Flashdance.
I mean, it was all right. But all
It
of
was all right.
I don't really like dance movies. I mean, I liked Kind of Dirty Dancing because it was like the storyline was probably the best towards dancing. But I would say Singing in the Rain.
Okay. Yeah, that seems like I don't know. I feel like that's every like 50-year-old gay man's favorite dance movie.
Probably I'm in. That's me. Let's hang out.
I used to watch Flashdance for the
Sexy.
breakdancing scenes
Oh, really? I thought it
to
was for the
figure out how to
sexy.
breakdance. Yeah, because there's few and far between movies where you could get good breakdancing. What was it? Breakin' and Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo had some scenes in them that I would just watch over and over again to study.
Well, you should listen to my podcast because I have some of those people. My dance podcast has those people on it.
And what is that again?
For the love of dance.
Oh, and that can be found where?
Anywhere you're listening to this, if you
Oh,
listen to this, it's on the same thing.
yeah, then you should be able to find it. No problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're dancing. They're talking about dance. Andy's excited to go to the dance. Everybody else at this time, it's too cool for school. Which, by the way, I do wonder because they were so excited to go to the first dance.
Different writers. Like first, like they were like, let's scrap everything we know.
True, yeah. But are they? They haven't established yet, but I assume they are a year older yet. Are they in? Are they now juniors?
I believe yes.
Yeah, they never like said like school's out, it's the summertime, back to school, but I feel like
Well,
it has to have passed.
yeah, because yeah, it has to have
Tamara
been
came
summer.
back.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
could that
yeah.
be the same school year?
It has to have been, but we didn't see their summer vacation. But I believe between, I always assume between season one and no, it didn't because remember it picked up right from the last scene.
Yeah, right from the kiss.
So it's the same school year, and we started
It's
with.
literally November. I think it's literally November.
We need Jen to come back on it or Grams to lay out the
Yeah.
timeline one more time.
Here we are, find ourselves in Cape Side
And
only three and a
three,
half days after that whole 6 seasons passed.
or like someone to be like holding the baby and be like, "This baby is 1 month older."
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, I get where we're at now.
I wonder who the actor is who played the baby.
I mean, it's totally Google.
They would be probably about 20 now. And I wonder if
Oh,
it
that
was
was
a half white, half
lovely.
black baby.
I mean, I bet you they had more than one. And it had to have been a twin at the time, right? Because they don't do.
Do you think, depending on the scene, they had a black baby or a white baby?
No, I just don't think that they hire babies unless they come in more than one for how many hours they can work because they only can work a little bit.
Typical Hollywood.
I know, really messed up.
Uh, where do they go from there, though? They
And
go
it goes
from the
to the car
dance
ride
to.
from her dancing in the bedroom to the car ride with Joey being like, I got kissed by Jack. And her sister's like, no,
Oh, yeah.
he's
Her
gay. Like
sister.
her sister knows. She's like,
Yeah.
no, he's gay. Don't tell Dawson. It's fine. We've all done that. Like that's
And
basically how
also,
she
she
plays
gets more southern by the day. The next episode, she's going to be like Creole. She's going to be from like the islands.
I would love it if it just kept building.
Oh, no, Joey, you're going to be fine. That's how her sister starts sounding. Do we have a confirmation on the baby?
I'm just a quick glance, and if this headline is right, it says Steelers linebacker Alex Highsmith played the baby on Dawson's Creek. Which, if this
Awesome.
is true, this and yeah, I would say
If this is true, I think we can get him on the show.
I would love it.
I think he's somewhat of a public figure. He's a professional athlete.
Steelers player, Pittsburgh Steelers, which you know is a great. I have one of those terrible towels.
That's gross.
What's your team?
I'm from New England, so I don't know if you know, with all we've done with Dawson's Creek, that I'm from New England. Have I mentioned that ever in
No, I
the
don't
taping
understand
of the show
geography,
ever?
but I also don't know what team is in New England.
The Patriots.
Okay, so yeah, it doesn't.
Historically hated by the Steelers. That might be a problem, but I think I can work my way around it.
So there's a Twitter thing, and yeah, it's showing him as a baby in Joey's arms.
Oh, that's
But it
cute.
really could be any baby. Like, how do you know?
Yeah.
But
And now, what is the ethnicity of this man?
I'm gonna guess African American, but could be.
Hey, way to go, casting.
Could be like I don't know. I'm showing it.
Ethnically ambiguous.
Yeah, if you go on our YouTube, you could see.
Okay, so maybe they did. Maybe they really got a mixed baby. That would be so progressive of the time.
It'd be really cool. But I love that we just stumbled upon this beautiful Steelers fact.
Man, how many other Dawson's Creek little
I'm
trivia
sure
are out there in the world that we're going to figure out as we go here?
I would love it.
If anybody else out there knows any weird Dawson's Creek trivia that you feel we should know, please feel free to contact one of us
Come
some
on
way
the show with us.
possible.
He's 6'4". He was born in 1997.
In Cape Side, Massachusetts.
in North Carolina, so he's 23 now.
So that's why, because this was filmed in Wilmington. So that's how he ends up on the show.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to see if on his wiki page it goes into it, but I don't think so.
And yeah, let's find him on Twitter and Instagram and hit him up and let him know about the show. And then we'd love to have him on.
Yeah,
Listeners, feel free to hit him up.
and we'll hashtag him baby 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 player. I don't know what it is.
What was Bodie? Is that the husband, the boyfriend?
Baby Bodie.
Bodie's son.
Don't they give him a name?
Um, Great question. I'm sure in that baby episode they do, which is our most listened to episode. So that it's clearly a popular episode of the show. So people would know if he has a name. We'll have to go back and look. But why did we even start talking about him?
Because
Oh
we were
yeah,
talking about
so
the
she's riding with the
baby for a
sister.
time reference. Yeah.
Yeah, she's riding with the sister, and she's like, "Don't worry about it. Gay guy kissed you. No big deal." They get into school. Look who's back. Allie Larder is back.
Your bestie.
I got it. She just was right place, right time for me growing up. Did you ever see Final Destination?
Yeah,
She's in Final Destination. She's the chick.
I know.
Oh, okay. I
I'm a
just feel like you're
female
not as
straight.
excited as
Like,
me
yeah,
about
it's not my.
her being in this show.
Okay.
She's now a center character arguing with her boyfriend. And it's when you see why they set this up in the beginning, you're like, okay, but it is just kind of like out of the blue. You're like, why are you bringing in these two characters?
Oh yeah, but you knew whenever you see, yeah, you knew she was coming back, and I don't know. I feel like this whole episode, most episodes, you can kind of guess where it's going because it's very mathematical. But it doesn't mean I don't enjoy it.
Yeah, okay. So let's just jump to it then. The big thing of the episode is they break up. Dawson and Joey break up. They never got to be happy. They had
Well,
maybe one day of happiness.
we never got to be happy as an audience, and that's more important.
Yeah.
That's
How do you feel about that?
I'm pissed. I want no turmoil between them. Turmoil between some other people. Give me a little time to like them together.
So ultimately, you want them to be together.
I mean, I like her and Pacey better together, but if we're not getting there yet, let's play it by ear. And we can also talk about Pacey. This is an episode full of teen hormones, which is kind of fun. So Dawson finds out that, well, it all happens because they try to get all these characters to do a blind date. So the rule is don't do that, or the lesson.
Is it? I mean, the lesson of this episode is, yeah. But in life, is that how you feel? You don't set people up?
I don't set people up. Do
Yeah.
you?
I may have nothing that's ever worked out.
And then if a girl kissed you back in high school, would you have told your other girlfriend?
Absolutely not.
See? Joey was in the right. Also, it's that whole kissing back thing. Like, can you kiss somebody? Can someone kiss you and it not be your fault?
Yeah. I mean, it depends on how long you stay there.
I agree. Someone could physically get into your body space, kiss you, and then you could try to push them off. But if you don't,
great example. Great television example of this is the coach's wife in Friday Night Lights.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever seen that or not. There's a part where a teacher she's working with goes to kiss her. She flinches back and is like, "Whoa, hey, no."
Exactly.
That's you got kissed, but you did everything right.
Did you ever have a girl kiss another person and you found out about it?
Yes.
How did you feel? What did you do?
I think emotionally, I did not know how to process any.
You went up and punched him at the school dance, just like
I did not. No, it was during the summer, and it was. I mean, it's brutal. It was the day after I lost my virginity, and it was a girl I lost my virginity to when I made out with this other kid.
Oh yeah, that's hard.
Under the docks. But also, I was 14. I didn't know what to do.
Oh, So what did you do? Just
I still
let
couldn't believe I lost my virginity
just
at
stayed with
that
her
moment.
and was like, well, she's gonna fuck me. It's
No, I
okay.
didn't just stay with her. No, 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 no.
You had an argument.
No, I never saw her again.
Oh, it was a one and done.
Yeah, I mean, I did see her again as a person, but like, no, I didn't
You didn't date
continue
her
seeing
anymore.
her.
Got it,
Yeah.
got it, got it. In
But
in
again, also 14. So like what that even means as
but
far
that's
as
what
like
this
dating
age
is.
is, so why
Yeah, but God, they don't seem it. I mean, they are, I guess they're 15 or 16 at this
right.
point.
Mhm.
They are driving, some of them. So
Mhm.
you'd assume it would be 16. Um, but yeah, a lot. I mean, it would wreck you. It would wreck you emotionally. Like at that age, just the
I was in college when the guy that I was dating throughout high school, junior, senior year of high school, um, called me and was like, "A girl kissed me last night." And I was like, "What?" He was like, and I was like, "Oh, we're done." And it was like, "But I pushed her away." And I was like, "Yeah, but you were dancing with her on the dance floor. Come on, man. You
oh
were
yeah,
asking for it. You were asking for it."
there is
I don't
that.
know if we actually broke up then. My memory is not but I just remember being like, "This is your fault."
Yeah, and also like clearly like you're not, you know what,
But now
pining over me.
if it happened to my husband right now, I think I would laugh. Like, like, I think as you get older, you like, as
Yeah.
long as he wasn't initiating it and he was like, "Oh, someone kissed me last night," I think I would cry of laughter and be like, "Well, how was that? Was it funny? Was it like,
Especially if it was at a high school dance.
yeah, it'd be great. Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, what were you doing there?
Yeah, that'd be fun." Um,
um, but yeah, no, I think emotionally as a kid that age, that the littlest thing, the littlest infraction in a relationship is like devastating.
because you don't know how to do, well, that's why you're supposed to go through them. Yeah, is to like figure out how to not care later in life.
Yeah.
Isn't that
But
what
it does have that
school's
feeling
for?
of like at that age, if somebody does that, like kisses, kisses somebody else on you, and you feel like, you're like, oh man, I'm not going to be the same person anymore. Like that's how it feels to you. And then like, a month later or whatever, you're like, oh no, okay, I
Right.
guess you're fine. That can happen to you and you're fine.
Yeah, you learn yeah, because you've never had that feeling before, so it's like a big
Yeah.
deal, and then after a while, you're like, "Oh, well, that was stupid." So teens, if you're listening, start making out with your other friends so you can get through it faster.
I think
You
they
can
all
help
do
your
now. I think they're all polyamorous, pansexual. They're just going to become teens now are just like a pile of clothes and they all jerk each other off.
or they don't or they're asexual and they don't have sex with anybody.
Yeah, that
There's a
too.
lot of, like, virgins now. I think there's more
Yeah.
virgins now than ever before for teens.
And I think that's thanks to the internet
Oh, yeah.
and
Porn and,
pornography.
video games.
Mhm.
Video games give you the same endorphins as finishing.
No,
It's
they don't.
supposedly. Well, no, I'm saying in the brain, not in the body. So you don't actively seek sex as much.
Yeah. Also, yeah, just the
But if you're
time that's
fucking a
taken up by.
video game, woo! Hey. Now that's probably gonna be a game that'll get invented.
What if the birth rate because of that
It's already
just
going down.
dives though, and they're like, "What happened?" They're like, "They just stop. They just kind of stop fucking."
They're worried about it. The population is going down, but a lot of people are saying it's because of how expensive it fucking is to have
Yeah.
a baby in America. I don't know about other countries.
Was that Epstein's reasoning? It's like they're not. Somebody's got to fuck them. The birth rate's going down.
They're very upset. Yeah, I gotta build an island where everyone just fucks. Yeah, 100%. He was trying to save the world, people.
Yeah, nobody knows it.
Nobody thinks of these things. Same with Bill Cosby. Well, that's the
Um,
one that got you. Okay. Uh, um,
love a good Cosby joke.
so in Dawson's Creek, classic by the locker scene, because this conversation has already happened between Joey and Dawson, where Joey said, "Let's not be a couple that makes out in front of the school like that couple," and then it cuts to
Then
a
they
couple
say, "Let's not be a
fighting.
couple that fights."
And that's Dawson. He's like, "Let's promise never to air out our dirty laundry. You know what's coming soon. He's going to yell at her in public."
The whites, dude, the whites.
What?
You don't know that quote? It's
Nope.
from
It just sounded real racist.
I know it does, but it's not at all. It's from The Big Lebowski, and he's talking about how he's supposed to drop money off for ransom, and but he switched them with his dirty underwear. And he goes, "I gave him the whites, dude, the whites."
Oh, okay, so it's a
And
love
by that,
story.
because there's dirty laundry, you're gonna air out dirty laundry, the whites.
I like it. I get it. Out of context, not cool.
Very racist, yes, yes, yes. But also, they are all white, so it is. We're talking about the whites.
Yeah. I think you're allowed to make fun of white people.
For a little longer
Oh, only if they
until they kill them
identify
all.
as people.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, we're never gonna argue," and then they kiss goodbye. And then is that when it goes to Dawson gets home from school?
Oh, probably. And then he sees his mom and dad, and they sit down with him, and they're like, "Well, son, we're done. Peace out."
Probably the worst. Hey, we're splitting up. I've ever seen parents do.
What I saw was two people being like, "Look, we're too pretty to try to stay faithful to each other, so
Yeah,
we're just gonna go be pretty elsewhere." Like
and
literally,
but it was also like,
because his
"Look,
mom's
buddy,
dressed super pretty.
we're done." And he was like, "Could you try?" And they're like, "We're not gonna try."
We did that. It's also weird that like the child has a say in any of this.
Yeah. He is like, well, it's because he's the only kid and stuff, and two immature parents. He is kind of like just a third roommate.
He's like their friend. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, they're like, we're getting a divorce, and he's like, well, who's gonna pay your side of the rent?
Well, and we have to talk about the next scenes because they make me laugh. So then the next before the scene you're talking about, um, so Dawson and Joey do the whole let's not fight, and then you see Jack drop his bag, and Joey looks at him longingly. So you're like, oh, this is gonna happen. And then they cut to Pacey outside with new series regular chick that starts with an A, and two girls
Andy.
go by and do a shitty cartwheel, and I lost my mind. It's like, who was like, you know what we need two girls to do they probably got stunt money for that, which is amazing for them.
Mm.
But yeah, it was, I would love to watch that and replay back and forth, just those little cartwheel terrible things. I think they were attempting a round off, it might have been, but it was really bad.
The choreography that happens in scenes where they walk like through the quad or like along the boardwalk and stuff is fantastic and continues throughout the series. In college, they have those scenes where it's just like 12 other people in the background and go, and they all walk, and then the characters, and it's
You
just, yeah,
ever
it,
done background
probably
work?
employed a lot of background, a
Have you
lot
done
of
it though?
what's that?
Have you ever done background work?
No, I'm always in the foreground.
I definitely have done background in some like high school stuff. I forget. This is like 18, maybe 21, somewhere in that range. And I did a bunch of school scenes, and they totally have you stand somewhere and are like, go, now you walk there. Oh, you messed up your walk. Go back and do it again.
Mm.
Yeah, I definitely have been that terrible person who they're like, can you do a cartwheel? Hell yeah, I can.
They just grab somebody out of nowhere instead of, which is totally, if the union's got a hold of them. Oh,
Well, I'm union, so I don't know, but I have no idea. It was weird. But then the scene between Pacey happens. He says he doesn't dance. We figure it all out. They make up the bet to have this blind date, and then the Dawson gets told by his parents, no, 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 we're not gonna.
oh, okay, yeah. But that whole Pacey doesn't dance thing, I get it's a device for the episode, but it's a bad one. If anybody there dances, it's Pacey.
That's true. I bet you he would be the fun, like really bad dancer.
Yeah, and has, yeah, no shame about it, and gets on the floor and probably gets everybody dancing first. That was a bad characteristic to add to Pacey. Didn't fit.
Does it stay? Does he ever dance later with Joey?
Uh, he's got to. Yeah, I feel like he's got to.
Also, don't
Especially, I
you
mean,
think
he's
non-dancers dance? Like guys always dance with me even if they didn't want to because they want to grind with a chick.
yes, yeah,
They want to slowly move closer.
yeah. And when Andy has to tell them that at the beginning, like, hey, dancing is just, it's foreplay for sex. You're like, how do teens like? Of course we know that it's a fucking reason to touch your body against another body.
Yeah. Yeah. Dance was originally the history of dance where it was created is I forget the actual year of when it was first discovered, but it's on like walls and paintings, and it was supposed to be religious. Okay, fuck you.
Okay, sorry. What?
But it's like it was first founded with religion, which is interesting.
Oh yeah, I could
You
see
were
it.
dancing for the
Well,
gods.
and it's also like certain types are meditative too. So it was like part of like what do they call that? Repetitious dances that put you in some crazy trance states and shit.
Yeah, in the very, very beginning of dance. Yeah.
Yeah, they should have done that. Dawson should have done that. They should have had some
That
trance dancing in this episode.
I would love like a flash mob dance of like my parents are getting a divorce. And why do you care so much? Why do you care?
He's an only child, man. He doesn't know, and he's clearly has two extremely immature parents. He's not good at processing emotion and not having everything in his life be perfect.
Listen, I'm bad at processing emotion and I don't care about my parents being divorced. Maybe I do, and it's like really deep down and we need to discuss.
But that's because I mean that's because you're an immigrant.
That's true. Only
Yeah.
immigrants don't have feelings. We know this.
Yeah. And you're like, I'm ready to leave family member to get across the border at any time. Like you have that in you.
Of course.
People here are soft. They don't have that. They don't know how to lose somebody for the better good.
Of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then they all decide to go to this dance. Um, and Dawson's like, well, my parents are getting divorced. I guess I'll get ready for the dance. And then his mom's like crying, like, it's just the onions.
I would leave too. I'd be like, okay, mom, yeah, cry this one out. I can't help you. If you're looking for emotional stability from a 15-year-old, I don't know what to do for you, mom.
Yeah. And then also Andy and to her brother is like, I got you this hot date. And he's like, what if I've already found the one? Dun dun dun.
Yeah, the gayest way to say I'm into a girl.
Well, yeah, we're gonna find out that that's how he swings.
I wonder if that's what. So
And
he gets set
Starbucks
up with Jen.
good.
I wonder if that's what Jen, coming from New York, immediately sees. Is just like, why did you guys set me up with this gay guy?
That would have been funnier if everyone was like, "You're gay."
Yeah.
What a weird.
Joey's like, no, he's not. Everybody's like, yeah, he is, Joey. It's
Yeah,
just Joey. You might also be gay.
yeah, you are. Oh, that'd be so good if she was a lesbian. Now that's a good Dawson's Creek episode.
Yeah, and explainable. It would kind of explain the whole thing.
Yeah, in this era, there was more gay men, not a lot of gay women on TV. I feel like from the shows that I remembered.
Yeah, thanks, Ellen.
You tried. Um. Okay, then the parents, they're like going and they're like, "I'm leaving you," and he gets in the car and goes away. And then Dawson sadly goes to the dance.
Yeah, where does Mitch go? Does he go to?
Like a hotel, it looks like.
Yeah, it wasn't even. He didn't even have like an apartment. He just went straight to motel. So like that. I don't know. Do you like after 20 years of marriage, you're like, I'm leaving tonight without a place to stay. Like I'm not even gonna find like a place I'm gonna move into. It's just straight to fucking sad motel.
Yeah, and then they have that whole creepy back and forth where he calls her and is like, so how you doing?
Yeah.
And she's like,
They should have had him as he was talking to her doing that, having like this kind of like loving conversation. Like they're still clearly in love.
oh, I thought
Now
you
he's
were
just
gonna
like
stop calling
tying a rope around the thing and getting getting the noose ready. He's like, I miss you, Gail. I miss you every day. Puts it over his head.
off in the background.
You can call anytime. I'm always there for you.
Yeah. I still want him to be jerking off while he's doing that.
And yes, and jerking off while going to hang himself.
And then he then also creepily drives back to the house.
Yep.
And I wanted her to be blowing a guy or look like she was blowing a guy. I wanted her to be doing something that would be suspect. And so then he would have driven off all angry. But instead, she's like crying in the window. And I was so bummed about it.
Um,
And she dressed
which
so sexy for a lone female.
does she? I don't know. She just
Look at
has such.
nightgowns, like sexy silk nightgowns to like hang out with your 15-year-old son. That's weird.
I feel like that's like what porn stars in the 90s wore as far as like this is sexy, like a nice silk. I don't know. It's
But it's not like hang out with your son outfits at home alone and read a book.
no, well that is now in porns. Um what was I going to say about her and Mitch. Oh yeah. Have you noticed this? They don't seem to have a driveway.
Oh,
They're
maybe.
just driving on grass every time they pull up to their house.
Huh. I wonder if their house is just cardboard.
No, I think what it is the actual driveway is like in the front of the house or something, but it doesn't look good for the shot for like walking out of the kitchen or like looking at it. So they're like, we're just gonna drive on the lawn. But there's no like tread marks or anything.
But
Like
where's
you're
your
like,
geography anger about this? Because I know that there's got to be some like houses in Maine don't do this.
wouldn't if you were driving a car there every day, there would be tire tracks, and they're on a lawn with no tire tracks, and they drive off, and you're like, that it would get muddy. It doesn't. We see your tricks, Dawson's Creek. We see them.
We know them 20 years later, but we've noticed. And then we have to talk about all of their dance outfits.
Yeah.
All of the girls are dressed in these like typical dresses that were of the time. Joey has the worst posture. Jen's posture is so butch and like gonna punch you. And then Andy's posture is the only one that I think is true to character.
Um,
Or
and
maybe Joey's
I
is
guess they
true
were
to
all wearing
character,
like the
not
same type
Jen.
of dress because Abby was there too, and then what's her name? The Allie Ladders character, who I forget her name.
They all had spaghetti straps with like no bra
Yeah,
or like a strapless bra, so that
yeah.
it was like kind of sexy, but only the girl that you're in love with actually had lady tops.
Uh,
The rest
oh,
just
had
things.
real boobs.
Yeah, we call them bee stings before you get real bumps.
That's clever. We call them mosquito bites.
Oh, okay. Canada,
Um,
America.
Dawson is it's it was the look then, but it's too baggy. It's just
Oh, yeah, all of them.
he looks like what's his name? The tramp. Uh
The Lady and the
fucking
Tramp, the dog.
no, the guy with the Hitler mustache who did the funny dances.
Um, Charlie
Chaplin.
Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin type suits of just like these like
Mm-mm-mm.
baggy, hobo type looking Banana Republic suits.
But do you think that if this scene was done now, they would all be in skinny jeans, all the guys, and it'd be extra gross? I would almost rather this outfit than like overly skinny jeans.
No, if this scene was done in a high school today, they would be wearing the exact same shit they're wearing there. Because
That-
all of that shit for high school kids is back in. Like they're all wearing the type of shit that we wore in the 90s.
oh, good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. Yeah, and then Andy doesn't get to dance with Pacey, obviously.
Annie just apparently is just like a horny little butterfly, just trying. She's like trying to get she wants to fuck Pacey, but she's just really just trying to get everybody
Everyone,
lubed up to go.
everyone should be fucked. Dancing makes you fuck. Go, go, go.
Yeah.
That's it. Uh, as a professional dancer, I'm here to tell you it's not true. Um,
Again, you're talking about like dancing.
I'm kidding.
There, where this is just middle school, high school, just slowly walk in circle while
Touching
rubbing
each
on each
other.
other.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's touching.
Yeah.
But Dawson then does his "woe is me" parents thing,
Yeah, way to bring that up at the fucking dance, man. That's the other thing he doesn't know how to do as being an only child. He doesn't know how to shut up with his emotions every now and then.
and then he's like, "Jen does look right for what's his name?
Jack.
Yeah, Jen looks great for Jack." And
Yeah.
she gets all,
Well, I hated
"Why
that
would you
little.
say that? Why would you say that? Why do you?" Who cares?
Yeah, Joey fucking blows it.
100%.
Nobody in this goddamn town can lie. Nobody can
No,
keep their emotions to themselves to, in order to have sex or have a good time.
yeah, she gave it away hardcore. Uh,
Yeah.
and then they switch dance partners because Andy's so forceful. And then Jack's like, "I'm sorry, it's my fault that you kissed me, or I kissed you." And she's like,
Yeah,
"Yeah."
Jack can't shut the fuck up about it too. I was like, dude, if you want to kiss her again, you shut up, you don't say anything, and you just give like a little wink and a nod, and that's it. Like, what are you doing talking about this right now?
And then she's like, "Yeah." And now I feel guilty. And he's like, "Probably because you kissed me back." Oh, we find out the difference. And Dawson overhears this, obviously,
Because there's 9 people in this entire
and
place.
no music.
Yeah.
uh, And then the best part is he's got a good punch.
Oh, Dawson?
Dawson punches. Have you ever hit a guy over a girl?
No, not over a girl. No, I've hit plenty of people, never over
You only hit
a woman.
women? Is that why?
I've only hit women. Yeah, I let my rage out on the people the perpetrators.
Oh, you're a big equal rights guy. I like that.
Yeah, yeah. Um, no, I've only fights I've ever been in are over stupid shit.
I will say
That
your little hottie girl, her dress is sexier than everybody else's.
yeah. Well, I mean, they are all over 25, but she was like I think a model too or something. Like
But all the girls have like a straight cut where you can't really see cleavage, and hers goes.
she's got a little dip to it. Yeah. And so some other random story that's been happening in the background. That's what I love is like her whole storyline with her boyfriend and them breaking up and fighting the whole time. It's just kind of been happening in the background of the whole show. But then it comes to fruition with Pacey never danced with Andy. And then he walks out into the hall, finds the Pacey classic, a wounded animal. He
Mhm.
comes out and finds a
But
wounded
that's
and
how Tamara taught him. He doesn't know any better.
yeah, go take advantage of.
I mean, if your first sexual experience is from someone who was a predator, don't you become a predator?
Yeah, I think at least. Well,
That's
she and you know that is
doing
the other thing.
better.
She is the oldest one too. Like out of him and it, like he still does go for the oldest one.
He needs to. It's smart. He wants someone to raise him because his parents are
Hmm.
not raising him. He can't find a good
And so he starts dancing with her in the hallway, telling her she's pretty, even though that other dude didn't want her. And Andy sees it, breaks Andy's heart.
yeah. But he was having I thought that first of all, her being like him dancing with her was great. It totally made sense with his character to be like, "Oh, this is the chick I've been wooing over." And then the best part is when later, when he finds Andy and he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." He cons her into believing, maybe not cons, but he sweet talks her into like making out with him.
Yeah,
Into being like, "Look, you're pretty, but we all know she's prettier than you." And
but
the
come on.
odds of that ever happening again, of course
Yeah,
you gotta do this. It's so fucked up. Everything he says is like, "No, have more confidence as a woman. Have more confidence. You got it. You got more, girl."
I want to say though, if the storyline was just presented from Pacey's point of view of the girl he had always had a crush on, and then he finally gets her in the end, and they dance alone. Why are we feeling bad for like?
No, he should have
Sorry, Andy,
with
you
her.
didn't get the person you wanted.
Yeah, Andy and him should not have gotten together in that moment. He should have dated the hot girl for like 2 days, and then she just was shitting on him, and then he realized that it wasn't good.
Yeah, and then maybe he goes to Andy, and then in the meantime, Andy, has like a four-way with the hockey team or something.
Great, love it.
Yeah,
Uh, but he talks to her and he's like, "Look, of course I'm gonna dance with this one girl."
yeah. He's like, "Are you fuck?" He goes, "Look, look, look, babe, look." You and me, this could happen. This isn't a big deal if it happens. I think everybody here kind of expects it to happen.
And then he does the
That was a fantasy. How many times do you get a fantasy?
reverse where he's like, "Why do you even like me?" Which
Yeah.
is like such a you shouldn't like me. Anyways, I've told you this. And then he gets her to compliment him. Ooh, he's good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's got the most game out of anybody on the show.
First off, put them down. Then after you put them down, put yourself down. They will bring you back up.
Yeah.
They feel like they have helped you.
It's a sad cycle we go through as women. And a lot of us are aware of it. And then a lot
Hey,
of us
it's
are not.
he was a victim too. Okay, he learned this somewhere.
Oh, Tamara.
Yeah. So ultimately, blame women.
No.
This is Tamara's fault.
No, I don't
This
like where
started with a woman,
I don't
much like Eve in the garden.
I
This started with a woman.
don't like where this is going. And then I guess we get back to Dawson and Joey,
End up in his room, and Joey's like,
not in the closet.
"Peace."
She should have been in the closet.
Yeah, no, she was not in the closet, and she was just like, "Look, here's the thing.
Everything is about you, which is fair.
Yeah, but it's also I don't know. It's one of those like now that I date you, it turns out I don't really like you.
Yeah, you were a better fantasy than reality.
Yeah,
I made you out to be more than you are. You kept me at arm's length, so I created the difference. And then when I got it, it was not worth it.
Yeah, I think that's part because this whole thing of like, oh, I need to know who I am and like it can't just
No,
be
that's a lie.
about
She just wants
without
to
you.
go fuck other guys.
I think it's that, and I think also she's like she was with Jack and was like actually like stimulated by a guy
Mhm. And
and was like,
listen,
oh,
and he listened to her. What?
yeah,
Crazy. That every guy out there needs to know that when a woman says she needs some time for herself, in coming out of her face, she probably means it. Because I've definitely said those things and been like, no, I just need to discover me. And then 2 nights later, I'm out with some girls and I find somebody else. Not to like date
yeah,
forever, but just to have a good time.
yeah. And for
Crazy.
guys, if guys tell women that they're just they I mean they were lying in the first place. Women might be lying to themselves for like a day or something and then figure out,
Guys knew
they're
it
like,
ahead of time, you're saying?
yeah. Guys tell you that knowing it is a lie.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Women, I think, believe it first.
Yeah, I know. It's an incredible power.
Oh, yeah, we believe our own lives. It's a wonderful, honestly, it makes the world a better place. For
To a point of probably like passing lie detectors.
Yeah, and it's wonderful because the world that you get to live in, you get to create it more, and so it's more
It's
fun.
your own reality. Yeah.
It's a beautiful mess.
Yeah.
I love being a woman. I would not want to be a dude. I love the way that my mind works when I'm like,
Yeah, we're stuck, dealing with the harsh realities of reality.
yeah, that sucks. Meanwhile, I'm just like, do I look fat? This is important.
But yeah, that's it for
Okay, what do
Dawson
you
and
think is
Joey.
gonna happen? Okay, so they break up,
Gosh.
right?
Yeah.
Do you think she fucks Jack immediately, or she is single for a whole day? Is she still painting? What happened to her painting thing? Or is she just always going to be like a gypsy and change different thought process?
Yeah, I think she's just gonna be like the artsy person. I want to say she maybe goes through a photography phase or something. Um, I think
What are you doing?
in I'm trying to fix the microphone.
It looks like you're having an earthquake this whole time. Like I'm
Yeah, it was slipping off. There we go, and we're tight. I think that she does jump right to Jack's arm. She jumps to Jack in the next episode, but maybe like at the end of the episode.
okay.
Um and
Oh, FYI, because it just popped up on my screen. Dad stays at a motel, not a hotel.
so even more sad, even more just whew.
And she gets the
Just
house.
parked the car right outside his room.
Woman figured it out. She gets the whole house to herself.
Yeah. I mean, at least in this case, it's deserved. She is the breadwinner.
But she's the cheater. The cheater doesn't get the house.
No, I'm saying the person who paid for the house should get the house.
I think whoever cheats doesn't get the house.
No.
I don't care who makes more money.
It's not even about, I mean, works out that way and the more money, but I'm just saying, like, who bought the house? She bought the house.
Yeah, but she's the cheater. I disagree on this one.
I should be on your side too. And to make everything even, just like how, anyway, just like how women who do nothing end up with the house and
Yeah, whoever is the cheater loses the house. That should be the
yeah,
that should
Mitch
be the contract of marriage.
can't even be the used up bride, right?
Also, by your theory of the money, she should be getting the hotel because she has the money.
Hence why he's at a
And
motel.
100%. And then she'd be at like a nice
Yeah.
bougie ass place.
I'm surprised if this was made today, Mitch would be like, "No, I'm just gonna live out of the car for a while. I'm gonna go do some van life."
Probably. Either that, maybe there's a scene that we don't see where she's like, I'll leave. And he's like, no, no, no. Because if you leave, you'll go live with that guy.
Yeah,
If you're home, I know you're home.
and God, that guy's life is sad. The guy, if he's single, he's just like a mid-40s single anchor on local news. Probably lives in a one bedroom, maybe a studio.
Has kids.
Maybe he has a daughter and she's in Pittsburgh. his last that was the place he had to leave Pittsburgh under some bad circumstances and had to leave his daughter there, and now he's at local news in Cape Cod.
Oh, there is a scene we forgot that I just thought about. When they all go back home and Jen says to him, like, you really like her. You should go for her.
Oh yeah, Jen is fucking vixen. She's still just out there spinning her webs.
Smart woman, you want Dawson? Yeah. Make that guy go for her so that you can get Dawson.
Send in a pawn.
It's not your fault.
And also we all know Jen knows he's gay because
What an
coming from New
ultimate
York.
way to get back at if her character thinks that he's gay. What an ultimate way to get back at a female who took your boyfriend, to be like,
Send a gay after him.
yeah, go date this gay man. Have fun. That's gonna fuck you for a few years mentally.
Oh, how will it turn out? Does it fuck up Joey forever to date a gay man? Will Dawson ever get Joey back? Is Pacey a
How long until
sexual predator in the making?
when do they all sleep together? Because this is taking forever.
When will they have sex? I know Pacey and Joey do it at some point, but how long will it take?
It feels like too long. I would like it to happen sooner. Do you think Joey loses her virginity before Dawson?
Yes.
Okay. And
I'm
who
trying to think.
you remember who Dawson loses his virginity to?
Yes, I believe so. I believe he loses it to the mysterious uh person who comes into town who turns out to be Jen's older sister, half
Oh,
sister.
MG, I hope so. Now that's
I
a show.
think he loses it to her, but I think it might be after. And the reason he has no, this is all conjecture and we're really looking ahead here, but I think the reason he has no qualms losing it to this floozy who just flew into town is because Joey had already lost it to Pacey.
Because he was saving himself for her.
He was saving himself for her, which is
Now, the guy who wrote this show, is this what, like, I know it's kind of his, like, was he hung up on a chick and that's why he moved? Is this, like, what is
I would assume so. I mean, if not, what a weird, he was a guy who grew up wanting to be a filmmaker, but I assume there's some sort of drama.
high school chick?
Yeah,
Can you imagine being that chick and watching the show and then being like,
I know. Weird,
oh,
especially if he like in real life he never actually talked to her.
it's just an imaginary sock puppet,
Yeah,
right?
she's like, wait, the guy who sat behind me in math class wrote this.
I would love it. And then the school teacher's like, wait, they knew I fucked a kid? I hope it's all a documentary.
Well, we will find out more next week on I Don't Want to Wait. I'm Handren Seavey.
I'm Kim McVicar. Thanks, guys, for listening. We appreciate it.
Goodbye.
Bye.